We're seeing this happen with Anthropic right now. They're taking the gloves off. They're pulling out the subsidies.
Hey, welcome to the Velocity Lab. I'm Dave.
And I'm Dan. We work inside engineering organizations every day, helping them ship faster with AI. Not in theory, but inside their actual teams. We come here, share what we're seeing in the field, what's working, what isn't, and what people are getting wrong.
No BS,
hype,
Dan.
No BS.
No hype, no
Definitely
BS. Yeah, so
enough.
we're App Vitals, Dan and I. We work with hands on the keyboard with engineering organizations to achieve velocity, right? We speed things up. So what are we talking about today, Dan? We're talking about the changes with Anthropic recently, right?
Yeah, we're talking about billing changes because we all knew this was going to happen. We all knew that all of our AI work is being subsidized by VC funding. The same thing happened with Uber. It used to be $20 to get across the bridge till they killed all the taxi companies. And then they bumped it up. Bay Bridge, I should say. So I lived in the East Bay. Then they bumped it up. Now it's back to $100 the way it was before.
Yeah.
So taxis, So anyways, we're seeing this happen with Anthropic right now. They're taking the gloves off. They're pulling out the subsidies and is what it is. But it's also frustrating because we don't want to pay.
First of all, Anthropic, we love you. Thank you. But yeah, we obviously know things that change.
We saw it with OpenClaw, right?
We saw it with OpenClaw.
First, they decided that, all right, you can't use your OAuth token. So let's talk about what we're actually talking about here. So Dave and I are both Max subscribers. We pay $200 a month for close to unlimited tokens with Anthropic, although we do hit the boundaries.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. I maxed out today. I had to switch the model so I could just stay alive for the next couple days without extra costs. But so we were using our OAuth tokens with OpenClaw. They said, nope, you can use your OAuth token, but you're going to pay API fees. So
But they did give us a $200 credit. Thank you, Anthropic, again.
True. Basically, what happened was with your Max plan, you basically have these session limits. So you can hit session limits
every 5 hours.
And then you have a weekly limit or something like that. And as long as you don't go over, you don't pay. But and they allow actually a ton of tokens. So you have a bucket of tokens that are available to you. And it's relatively high. With the API, every request is charged on a per token basis. And I think how much more expensive if you were to cap out your $200 plan versus API token?
Yeah, I saw.
It's at least 10x.
I saw there was a post, some nerd, I'm a nerd too, but someone figured out basically $200 a month, if you're paying API tokens, would be like $5,000.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, so everything we're talking about hasn't changed. Enterprise has always been you pay per token, right? Always, right?
Yeah. Teams, you had OAuth tokens. Enterprise is always API per token. So yeah, if you're selling anything to anybody, you were using API tokens. But so they turned off OpenClaw.
That was step one.
And
broke my heart, but I'm still paying.
And then this week they announced, we're actually going to give you credits for OpenClaw. Right?
No, when they turned off OpenClaw, they gave us $200 credits. But now what they're saying is if you use Claude minus P, which is like a one-off, one shot.
So I was trying. So Anthropic, if you read the email, Anthropic said they were trying to say, hey, we're doing this for you. So you can go and use OpenClaw now and you get 200 credits a month continuously.
Oh, continuously.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're like, okay, we heard what you're saying. But if you're like Dave and me, we want to use OpenClaw, but we've also built these managed agents that work in the background and use all of our own tokens.
They're coding for us right now. The product is called Shipwright, Dan.
So the other thing they said is, we'll give you 200 credits for OpenClaw. Yay, we're listening to you guys. But if you read between the lines, what Dave and I read was, oh no, they're going to limit us to $200 credits for all of our autonomous. They're basically targeting autonomous coding. So when you're not human in the loop with Claude Code, you have to pay you only get 200 credits per month now.
Yeah.
That's or $200 per month now for that. But if you're in the loop with Claude Code,
you're good.
You're good. Unfortunately, 90% of the stuff we do is not in the loop with Claude Code.
Yeah.
And we don't actually want to be in the loop with Claude Code.
No. So right now, as we're talking, Dan and I, our agents are coding right now. They're doing Claude minus P and they're coding. And so that's going to get into that.
So now Dave and I are like, oh no, what are we going to do? Are we going to be paying like $5,000 a month instead of $200 a month?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Basically, we don't think the $200 a month, thank you for the credit, by the way, but we don't think it's going to go very far. Because if $200 converted to API is $5,000, that's going to be a problem. Figure something out. But
yeah. So I turned on the extra credit, and my $200 of credit that they gave me lasted, I think, 2 months. And that's only when that's when my subscription credit hit the limit and that turned on. So I burned through that. But so that's just my overage cost me $200 over 2 months. So $100. Imagine if that was extra credit, like if that's what I was paying the whole time.
Yeah.
I think, so if I were actually to do the math a little bit on this.
Dan's doing math. Look at he's fingers
I think
out.
it's going to be at least $1,000.
Yeah.
At least. So the 5,000 maybe is a little high, but for my workload, it's $1,000. Now, that may also force us to optimize some things. It's okay. Maybe I should turn off some of these crons.
Use different models for different workloads.
Yeah.
Maybe use an upper model for planning, and then but execution use a lower model because it's already been figured out.
Or gate a cron behind like a script because there's maybe deterministic a way to figure out if I actually need to run this cron instead of running. Like, for example, we have a cron that just picks up new tasks every hour and it opens a PR for us. And most of the time, or 50% of the time, I would say I have a task queued up and it's picking it up. The other 50% of the time, there's nothing in my to-dos list.
But you just burn some tokens to check.
But I burn some tokens to check where I could just be like, I could have a deterministic script that says, hey, read linear, hey, check Jira, hey, check this to-dos thing, whatever your issue tracking is, only run it if there is stuff pending and waiting for me.
But Dan, we always have something pending. There's always something pending. Always.
I think either you or I do. It's true. This week, I would say I had less this week than previously, but so I think it varies. It varies.
Yeah. So Dan and I, we first met OpenClaw, and I was basically, my interaction was I would talk to OpenClaw, right? I had enabled voice. I had a little 11 Labs account. That's how we started, right? But then we got that cut off. So now my assistant is just my assistant, doesn't code for me. But now we have ShipRite, our product. We have our agents in the cloud coding for us.
Yeah.
And so we're interacting with them through Slack, and you can do voice.
I think I'm disappointed because just last week or the week before, I was like, all right, this thing is tuned. I'm going to focus on just cranking out client work, trying to make as much money as I can, try to ship as much stuff as I can, stop building this part of the system. And then this hits me and I was like, okay, now I got to figure out how I'm going to optimize this other part of a system so I don't have to pay $1,000+ a month on tokens or just eat it. And we said, all right, that's just the cost of doing business. We'll see what happens. It's a month away from now. They're going to flip the switch.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not panicking, but we're going to watch our costs for sure.
Yeah.
And again, life is not over. Yesterday, anytime I walk into the dog,
probably good actually, right? We're building all these data centers all over the country. We're trying to power AI.
Yeah.
We're using too much energy, probably, maybe, according to some folks. And it's just going to 10x, 100x as more and more people are like using AI for more and more things. So this is actually going to force some of us to just be like a little bit more conservative about how we use AI. That's the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think so. But all's not lost. Basically, anytime I walk my dog now, and we had a talk with a friend about his same thing, we're on our phone interacting with Claude, basically, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but my laptop is home. I have caffeinates running all the time. And I had just interacted through Claude mobile.
Yeah.
I interacted with the terminal Claude code setting I had, and I was moving things along and prompting it and all this stuff. And that is covered under my OAuth plan.
Yeah, it is.
The problem is now my laptop runs 24 hours a day. So I might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, okay, Claude, do this, Claude, do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a weird thing.
So my laptop, what I have done is everything in the cloud is fully autonomous, no backstops, because I know the environment, I know the policies, I know what the agent's capable of doing in this isolated environment.
Well, Dan, because we built a system.
So I'm comfortable with it just running, working for me. It's not going to break anything for the most part, right? On my laptop, I go to my laptop when I need to be human in the loop. I want to make infrastructure changes. I want to do all these things that I actually want to sit and watch Claude do so it doesn't break the system. So my laptop is actually more open. Now it's okay. how do I find the right balance where I can put remote on, right? If I use their remote tool, I can put remote on it and it'll just go, and I can build trust. And we've done a bunch of things. We have a damage control plugin that watches and makes sure that you're not doing anything destructive. But I also know how Claude can work around that.
Yep.
And so I am since my laptop has more permissions, I'm a little bit more concerned. So that may be just another thing, is I lock down permissions a little bit more on my laptop if I have to leave it running and I have to start using Anthropic's remote thing instead of just messaging them in Slack.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyways,
big changes.
There's not a boring week
No.
in AI. What's the next thing that's going to break us? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, man. People are making wild. We're switching to Codex and all stuff, and I'm like, Codex doesn't have the ecosystem that Claude does, Anthropic does. That's a fact. It is a debt. Codex might surpass Anthropic at some point, but currently today, the ecosystem around Claude is so much more robust than
it's cool. It's going to make us think about a lot of different things. Like Codex, maybe I was thinking about using Pi finally. Is like, I've kind of been like, oh, maybe I should look at Pi, but also at the same time, like, I just want to focus and make Claude Code better because so many things are changing there. So I'm just like, all right, let's add skills. Let's add all these things. So, we'll see what happens. We got a month. A lot's going to change in a month. And we know about it. So we're going to be fine. It's just, it was a bomb that I felt was dropped on me.
By the way, Dan, SpaceX, what is their pre-IPO evaluation right now? What do you think it is?
All I know is that I heard that Anthropic is raising another round and rumored that their valuation is $900 billion.
Incorrect. I saw 1 trillion and SpaceX was 2 trillion.
Those guys probably rounded it up.
Those guys rounded up. Yeah.
SpaceX, but is that their AI, or they've combined?
That's everything. Yeah.
They've combined. So they're cheating a little bit, but SpaceX has been around for a while. But these are pre-IPO companies. That's just nuts. I remember, now I guess I'm going to age myself, when Apple made the $1 trillion market cap, I was like, oh, that's nuts. Yeah. That was like 15 years ago or something. But
dude, Elon Musk I don't know, we're getting off the topic. Elon Musk himself is worth almost $1 trillion right now. One person. That's crazy. All right. That's just, listen, if you want to move faster, contact us. We're App Vitals. That's Dan. I'm Dave.
Yeah.
We work with engineering organizations. We work with a team. Give us a big project. We will accelerate. We will accelerate that project. You won't believe how quickly we can do this work. And we're going to build tools to do it. And those tools you have to keep, and they're going to make everything else faster. So,
and now we're going to be optimizing token usage.
Yes.
As well.
Yes. That's our next one. So App Vitals, app-vitals.com. Hit us up and we'll see you next time.